Yeah. We'll jump into this. Let me do this intro here and we'll go from there.
Alrighty, sounds perfect.
All right. Welcome to Path to Billionaire Success Stories, the podcast that takes you on a journey through the stories, strategies, and insights of remarkable individuals who have achieved greatness in their fields. I'm your host, Ben Pietrowski, and together we'll unravel the secrets, challenges, and triumphs that pave the way to success. Join us every week as we uncover the principles that can help you overcome obstacles, embrace change, and harness your potential. Get ready to be motivated, challenged, and empowered to embark on your very own path to success. Remember, success is not a destination, it's a journey. So buckle up and get ready to explore Path to Billionaire Success Stories. Today, I am joined by Stephen Suttles. Stephen, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? I definitely appreciate your motivation, your posts that you do in the morning. They're amazing. It definitely helps brighten my day. But other than that, what's been going on with you? What brings you here today? And then we'll jump into some questions from there.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you having me on the show. Um, I definitely appreciate the feedback on everything we've been doing. Honestly, I've just been just kind of I've gotten to this point where a lot of people they ask me different motivational things like how do you keep going, and you've had a lot of things going against you and this and that, and I always persevere. So giving out a little bit of that knowledge and helping other people to see that, even if it's not just in my immediate circle, whether it's on the other side of the world or whatnot, that was the point of the videos really. Just kind of give a little sorry, a lending hand just when I do it. When I get down, I'll go on YouTube or TikTok or Facebook, and I'll kind of look up a little bit of something to kind of give me a little bit of something to think about. So
Right.
I figure I'm pretty good with writing. I've always been great with writing. So started writing these things, started recording, and then I've always been a big fan of just the entertainment in general, as far as recording, editing, all that good stuff, just wrapped up in one. I got the honor of being really young and being an artist, so I got more hands on with that, and I've kind of just turned back to those times, and it made me happy. So um, when we get older, it seems like what we did enjoy and we was really passionate about, we kind of forget because life gets in the way and all that other stuff. So using that and incorporating that within this whole mission has been a real pleasure and an honor, honestly. I've gotten to work with a lot of people. I've learned different techniques as far as it's not even just in the editing. We're doing art on the side. I'm still drawing and doing all that good stuff. Kind of just exploring options and giving everybody pieces of information that's helped me along the way. I feel like if I had that growing up, maybe it wouldn't have been so hard sometimes. So
Right.
who knows?
Yeah, who knows? It's things like that that I look at too. It's like what would I have wanted when I was younger in that situation or this, and then that's what I try to work towards and be able to give, even if it is to nobody, it could be somebody later on down the road. So yeah.
Exactly. You never know. I mean, it's funny because sometimes I've got friends that do a lot of posts, whether it be in money management or just motivation, whatever their path is. And it's funny when they post the video, they don't get too much views or anything feedback wise. 6, 8 months down the road, though, that becomes something that's like a staple, and
Mhm.
it's really cool to see what's going to be that next step, because every one of at least for my videos, I like to push a little bit harder. I like to go, okay, what worked here, what you know how are we going to strategize and actually conform this into a better idea, because honestly, when I started out with it, I didn't know what to do. I was just like, we're going to write, we're going to see what happens, and I liked it. So um some got some good feedback, some bad feedback, but we work on it every single time. So
Right. Every time. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's all you can do is try it and see and learn as you go.
oh
Nobody
yeah.
nobody's a professional. When you first start out anything, think back walking. Starting walking, you fell so many times, but just get back up and keep trying. You know,
Exactly. And that's the key to it.
that's it.
Got to
That's
be
it.
resilient.
Exactly. Exactly. So, how would you define success, and what does it mean to you personally?
That's a very good question. Success. Well, in my opinion, hmm, it's not about money to me. Being able to take care of my family and providing a life that they deserve. Being happy while doing that is a huge key in success. Because I know a lot of people that they're making a lot of money, but they're not happy with it, and in the end, they're sacrificing their time with their family and the things that they're passionate about. So success to me is balancing all of these things that you want and the things that your family and the ones that is around you, what they need. So then being able to be that light and being able to keep pursuing better options, but still having that same meaningful connection, that's success to me. A lot of people, they forget the support, because that's the drive. Honestly, I didn't wake up one day and was like, hey, I'm just gonna go make $1 million. It was because, hey, I have a son, I'm going to take care of him. I want him to give him the life that I never even could imagine as a child. So that was a huge thing with my idea of success, because early on it was about, hey, how many zeros I got in my bank account.
Right. Right.
Now, no,
Yes.
I would rather have meaningful connections and having people around me that I love and support in every single aspect. I mean, there's a lot of people that are even in my family that I don't agree with the things that they do, but I love them unconditionally. You know what I mean? And having that has kind of actually pushed me to be a better person, and seeing success isn't just that whole, hey, I'm up here. Because if I'm up here and everybody else that I'm with is below me, that's not true success. So
Right.
bring everybody up with me, and that's my idea of success.
Very good. Very good. So, is it safe to say that your idea of success has changed and evolved over time?
Oh yes, definitely. Like I said, I used to just be like, oh, money chasing, and whatever the opportunity was, I was after it. And a lot of those times I sacrificed time with my son, with loved ones here, my mom, my sister. And it happens. But I didn't really understand the value of what that success could offer, because I've heard the saying, you can have a kingdom. What's it really mean if you have nobody to share it with? And it's true, because you can. I mean, we were both GMs, and at that time, that was my highest thing, and I was so proud of myself. And I worked 16, 17 hours a day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was times that I wasn't even just at my store. I'm at other people's store. I'm working 10 hours here, 5 hours over there. And I miss birthday parties. I miss, all kinds of quality time, graduations and stuff. I'm not mad, and I don't regret that decision, because at the time, that's what fed us, So I'm not mad at that, but I'm kind of upset that I didn't see the importance, of selling my time.
Right.
So now
Something you
it's
wish you learned sooner, but
yeah, it happens. But over time, I'm hoping, at least with that period in my time, my son has learned the struggles that you have to go through to be able to make sure that everybody's taken care of. Because there's not one day that he's sit there and been like, Daddy, you just want to take it easy today? No, we got stuff to do, son.
now's not the
So
time to take it easy.
yeah, we can celebrate later. Right now,
Yeah.
but I should have looked at it more like, hey, let's actually take this into account. So it's evolved definitely with that, and opening myself up as far as I've had a lot of things going when I was younger that I never really dealt with. So going to counseling and like opening up and bridging those gaps or whatnot, that's been a big help in my step forward as well. So
Yeah, personal growth, personal healing, personal responsibility. It definitely helps you to take that step and mend things that you never thought you would or never wanted to. So that's good though.
it's very true.
What achievements or milestones have you accomplished that you feel are successful moments in your life?
My biggest ones are definitely my son and my daughter. My relationship with them has grown exponentially. So I can, with family just in general, but with those two, um, I did struggle as far as thinking, how is this going to work? Because you don't get a manual with this. So I'm super excited that we're as open and we have the bond that we have. Other than that, I would say each time that I went forward with whatever decision I was going to go with, whether it be being a GM or going to be an electrician or just trying out the art thing and all that fun stuff. I've kept going like farther each time. So each milestone is really just each step of the way. I like to sit and tell people there's a huge goal, and I love that you have that huge goal, but what are those little ones in between? Because you got to celebrate a little bit, you know what I mean? And honestly, if it's jumping from the food industry, which I was so comfortable, I love that. I was 15 years into it, so jumping out of it was scary. But I went into selling rims, and then I just kind of learned, how that whole thing, where it still blows my mind, but it taught me a lot there. Then we came back down here. We got back into the art scene. I met a lot of different people that it taught me techniques that I didn't think that I could do. I just thought it was a computer thing. So I've got pictures. I don't have them available right now. I've got everything kind of put up, but every one of those pictures I'm absolutely ecstatic about, because I quit art for a long time. So being able to open that creative pathway again and seeing where that's going to be able to take me, that is amazing, and I'm very thankful and grateful for that.
Awesome.
I mean, there's a lot, but I didn't write anything down
Right.
today, so
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. What role do you believe that luck or timing has played in your success?
luck or timing. um so getting out of the food service, honestly, that was kind of a timing thing, but it was a luck right after, because I was trying for things that I was like dead set on, and I kept getting denied. But opportunity came up, and it was kind of a luck thing. Like I said, uh, they had brought somebody in that was same qualifications and all that other stuff, and he ended up saying no, and I was just like, yes, I finally got in. So timing is a huge thing, because if you're not acting on whatever it is that you're working on pretty quick, I mean, you can take the time to strategize, make sure that your plan is foolproof as far as, what are you going to run into, consequences, all that good stuff. I always love to be prepared. But if you're not acting as fast as you need to, you're going to lose momentum. And that's a huge thing too. But luck it's like a sign from the universe. It was you, that they wanted in that position. So I kind of look at luck like, thank you.
Right.
But
Yeah.
honestly, luck has played probably a big part in my life. I've been lucky to be able to meet a lot of people, even including you. There could have been, I don't know, 1,000 other people that was applying, and they could have been chosen over me. So luck definitely has a big part of it, but the timing of your execution is very crucial, I feel like, too.
Definitely. If you put the work in, that luck is gonna show itself a little bit
Exactly.
more because you're gonna be prepared for it. So, can you share a specific setback or challenge that you faced on this journey?
Ooh, how deep do you want to go?
As deep as you want to go. That's up to you.
Okay. All right. So I actually started this whole journey. Me and my ex. I still love her to death. I think she's an amazing person. Our relationship, though, it took tolls on me and, of course, her, that I noticed. And um, so through the journey, I've tried to improve those things, but then when you're dealing with those in the whole process, sometimes those emotions become a little bit strong. You just don't want to do anything. So the setbacks are more like psychologically, for me. A lot of what I go for, I'm pretty confident in my ways as far as like getting there. But my biggest, and it'll always be that way, I'm my own worst critic. So dealing with everything from that to what's going to be, in the future, that's been a big setback for me. It feels like I get 10 foot or 10 steps ahead and then 15 steps back, when those hard days come, and it's just like, ah, man, I can't deal with this. Or, I mean, I know that I kind of take some things out not in the right way. I mean, well, but it's not about what you say, it's how you say it, type of thing.
Right,
So
right.
I've been working a lot with that, and just my mind thinking, as you put it, with the mindset. Changing your mindset completely rearranges everything else. You got to, get your subconscious in tune with everything else, because that's really where it comes from. So
Mhm.
um, moving forward every day, though, is a struggle, but it's one of those things that it's worth it in the end. And you just got to keep your eyes on the prize. And you know, even things get heavy and hard, you just got to keep moving.
That's it. Just don't quit. You're still here, so that's the main thing. It's you're
Exactly.
gonna do those challenges, those tough times and stuff like that, but you just got to keep going. So, um, what motivates you to keep going? What motivates you to keep striving for success, to do that next thing?
um my son's a huge part in that. Seeing him grow up to be somebody that I never thought that I could raise. That motivates me every single day. See my nephews and my mom and my sister always, when we get together, it's not always happy, but you always see each other for who you are. And being able to see that now instead of, years ago, how we kind of just bickered or whatever, it's amazing. And being able to open up with them, that motivates me more. Um, it's deeper connections, and then all that stuff that you did hold over each other, whatever, you get over it. It's just you just got to figure out what's more important. And my motivation, honestly, lately has just been family, and I'm so thankful for the support that they've always given me. um, it's truly a blessing. That's my biggest thing. Everything, I got my little, come here. My dog's sleeping, but she's my big motivation in the morning, because she's always like, "Good morning, let's go do it." So,
Go, time to go. That's awesome. Do you think there's a connection between failure and success?
oh yes, definitely. Without failure, you can't have success.
Right.
I want to say that Thomas Edison made over 1,000 different types of light bulbs before he actually made what we know today as a light bulb, and each one of those it took to make the final product. So I don't believe, hey, I failed, I suck, I need to quit. No, it just means you need to practice. But in the practice and that hard work and that effort, that's where it really comes in. Because I mean, he could have quit, he could have gave up. We wouldn't. I mean, I'm not sure what our light bulbs would look like today. Maybe they'd be the
Right.
same, but it wouldn't have him. So um, just know that that goal is always hard. Once you set it, it's going to be, you got to want it, and any deterrents that's kind of come in your way, you got to be able to overcome them, whether they're good or bad. And
Yes.
at the end of the day, it's really up to you. Am I going to, like you said earlier, when you're walking, you going to stay down, or you going to get back
Good.
up?
Right. Right. It's
Exactly.
everything is life is about choices. We have choices about everything. You could choose to just lay down and not get up and do anything, or get up and just do what you need to do. So,
Oh, exactly.
learn from those failures and grow. Um, so you talk about family a lot. How do you maintain a work-life balance while pursuing your career, your personal endeavors and stuff like that?
With me, so I used to just, I would see an opportunity, I would go for it. I wouldn't discuss anything with them. hours or anything of that nature. Now I take that into account. I stick usually about 40 hours a week. But within that, I work early. I'm usually at work by 6. I'm off by 2:30. My son's off by 3. So I've kind of made it to where we're good during the day. Then we have all night. Of course, when he's going down, then I'm working on my projects and all that other good stuff. But making time for each other is a huge thing. We every week we go and do Get Air. It's like a trampoline place. We'll go there. We'll go get sushi. We'll whatever it is that he wants to do. I let him pick. So he's a little spoiled in that department. But with my family, we do barbecues. We sit down. We talk about, hey, how's your week been? I haven't really connected with you. Making that effort is a huge thing with family. And then the work, it's always going to be there. So I'm not going to ever stress on that.
It'll always be there. There will be something for you to do for that. That's for sure.
Exactly. But just honestly, it's putting the effort in to make time. I text him throughout, the week when he's with his mother, and just check up on him, see how he's doing. Same thing with my mom, my sister, and them. I don't always see them every day, but it's always nice to be like, hey, how you doing? You've been playing Pokemon or something like that. So and that's all it takes. And a lot of people, that's one thing I've really learned over this whole journey, because it's probably a huge thing in my past or whatever. I don't always connect with people, so I kind of like it's like I'm a ghost. I'm there and then I'm not. But it's not that I don't think of you. It's I've got all these other things going on. And then, those people felt like you didn't even say good morning or hi or hey, how you doing? Something of that nature. And it's like, dang, you're right. Once you sit down and think about it, like all it took was that 5, instead of, going through TikTok or whatever, I could have been like, hey, how you doing? I've got this going on, but just, checking in. So that's been one of my big things that I think it's amazing because the connection that it creates is way stronger, so
those connections with people, family, friends, your network, like those are important. So that's that 5 seconds, just shooting them a quick hello, something like that makes a difference to them. So
yeah.
awesome.
I mean, even my best friend Kyle, he's been working, he's doing overnights and all kinds of, he does security work. Really awesome guy. And I haven't seen him we play online, so I haven't seen him about a week or whatnot on there. And I, called him the other day. I'm like, hey, bro, what are you doing? He's like, what are you doing? What do you want? I'm like, I ain't seen you. So what's going on? How you been? And it's just stuff like that. It's like, you my brother, bro. Like,
Right.
you ain't got to be texting me all the time. I'm good on that. As long as I know you good.
Yeah. Right. He's like, okay, I see where this is. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
That's
So
that's awesome. How do you deal with the pressures and expectations that come with striving for success?
so which perspective are you, from others or from myself?
For yourself, for you.
I am very self-critical. So every step that I feel is a failure, I really scrutinize it and I see why it, in my mind, was a failure. Because not every one of them that I feel is a failure is an actual failure. It was it was like a proving ground almost, like, hey, you thought you were gonna be right here, you just right there. And
Right.
so the expectation though to keep getting better is a really huge motivation and push as far as making these goals happen, and visualizing it is a huge key too, because I didn't really understand what that manifesting it, and if you think it's going to happen, it's going to happen. It's like the Murphy's law.
Right.
Anything can happen, especially if you think about it.
Yep.
So when you're going through these little trials or whatnot to get to there, you got to keep that stern look. I can do this. It's not gonna, I can see it. I can smell it, I can almost touch it. It's right there.
Right
You always
there.
got to keep that in your mind. But you can't over expect from yourself. And that's a huge thing that I've had to kind of pull back from too. I want to make $1 million by next week. How are you going to do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you can't, that's not going to happen. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
so you're going to break your own heart type of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel that's why I'm really big on those small celebrations of whatever it is that you're getting to. Because I mean, they all add up. It's not like a honey pennies doesn't add up to $1,
Right. Right. I
So
mean, just takes
you
longer to
definitely,
get there.
yeah, and that's fine. And that's one thing that I've really kind of struggled with because I look at other people and I'm like, holy crap, you're doing this, or whatever it is. And then I see the other aspects and I'm like, oh, maybe I wouldn't be happy in your shoes, and you got to like put that in perspective as well. Because it's not what everybody else has. You can't covet what other people have anyway, because
Right.
it's, they worked hard for it or whatever. If it
Exactly.
was that easy, you'd have it too.
Everybody'd have it. That's the thing with success. When you look at people that are successful, is you don't account for all those little steps that took to get to that point. There's so much that went into it. Just like there's so much that's gone into the to get to your point of success now. It's like people don't really take that into account. They'll look at what you're doing now and be like, oh, it's cool, and judge you off of that point where there's a whole nother book that's been written already that nobody knows about based on that. So,
Yeah, you never can judge a book by its cover. I mean, there's a million pages in there. So,
right, right. Just keep reading, just keep going.
oh yeah, a big thing too with success is, um, I used to think that if you talked about it as far as like whatever you're doing, and you talked about it a lot with everybody that's not in your immediate circle that you're working with on it, it kind of devalues it because they're going to scrutinize it and it's going to get changed, right? They're going to say something that you're not going to, what I mean? It
Right,
might hit you a little bit harder. But if you put out what you already had, in your mind and you already visualized, you put it out that way, and then you get the feedback, it's a whole lot different because it's completely you. It's authentic. You can't build something off of, hey, this person, that, this is the whole idea right here. You gotta be authentic and then tweak it a little bit because I think being authentic with it is way better than just building off of, some little base down here that you're like, I got all these ideas. I can't copy you. You can't copy me. And I can't copy Mr. Beast. So,
right, exactly. You got to do your own thing, and
yeah.
yes, it's going to change. It's going to evolve over time. You're going to get better at it. That's what's going to happen. The more you do it, the more you practice, you're going to get better at it, and things are going to change. You're going to learn from the failures that you have on the path. So,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
all a big circle with all the things we've talked about already. It's all coming back to play.
Yeah, I love it. Honestly,
Yeah,
success is a huge circle, though. I
it
mean,
is.
it starts with an idea, and whether that goes to failure or success, that's just part of the circle.
Yeah.
So,
Just keep that circle going.
oh yeah.
How about sacrifices? Have you ever had to make any sacrifices on this journey that you're on right now?
Honestly, yes. Lots of job opportunities that are out of state and all that other stuff. I love that I'm getting them, but it's not conducive for what we've got going on right now. Um, with Aiden being in school, we're not doing that online or anything. We was planning on doing it. It was kind of hesitant, and then we just no, let's stick with the public right now. So I don't want to pull him out of school and kind of drag him around. So we had a little bit of that, and he was excited for some of them. And I'm like, dude, we could go be in Florida right now, on the
Right?
beach.
There you go.
Um, but I think being around the family and focusing on what we've got here, I think growing that is more important than uprooting everything because it just seems like what if out there type of thing for me. So I just want to keep everything stable. But seeing those things, it hurts a little bit, but at the same time I'm proud because I see that my heart's actually where I want it to be, instead of, hey, we're gonna just run out of here. I've lost some friends. They have their view on things, and I don't oppose it or anything. I just I'm one of those ones where I like to conversate about it. Well, why do you have a problem with it? If that's really an issue, I mean, maybe I am wrong, maybe you're wrong. Let's talk about it. And some of those people that I've lost, they just don't want to talk. They see something, and I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I've lost a lot of what I thought was friends, and now we've kind of gotten a closer bond with the ones that I do have in there, and it's really funny to see. I didn't think being positive was a bad thing. So
I mean, some people, yeah, some people.
And I don't push it off on people like that, but if you're somebody that I care about, I'm not going to let you fall. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to, kind of help you out and, ask you questions. What's going on here? Like, what do you got in plan in place? And I guess that might have been too much for some, but it's okay. It's fine. I hope the best for them, on their path. It's not like I completely shut them out. I don't do that type of thing. But, when a relationship ends, whether it's friendship or whatnot, you just gotta, it's gotta end where it's gotta end. So
maybe you sowed a seed that is going to grow into something later on down the road, and they're going to be like, "Oh, that's what he was saying." Okay, I know. Maybe, who knows?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So, how do you measure progress towards your goals?
Progress. So every week I keep a tab of what my goals are for the week, whether I complete them or not. That's kind of where I judge it on, and how I've got to either go up, because there's some goals, of course, you just kind of over exceed. So you got to adjust, to get somewhere where it's like it's more of a challenge for you. You always want to push yourself every day. So keeping a log, keeping a journal. I like to journal a lot. As far as this whole thing started with, what is the negative thoughts that you think every day about yourself, and write those down. So I believe I did that for a week. I think I posted it on Facebook. I didn't post what I said in my head or whatnot, but I did kind of do like a little synopsis of the experiment, which was actually really helpful, because it turned to the next exercise was, what would I have said in that situation to like a friend, my son, somebody that actually, I know. And it was completely different. So it's like, why am I so nice to somebody and I'm not so nice to myself? And seeing that and being able to change that mindset of, you're a failure. I mean, it's not that I'm a failure. I failed to plan to succeed. and in that, you got to learn, how do you adjust, and how do you be able to maintain success, but keep pushing yourself to that next level. So keeping a journal of, I still do that experiment today. It's not as heavy as it used to be. As when I mess up something, I don't sit there and, you ain't nothing. I don't go off. I used to go off. I mean, God, when I was in the pizza business, if I wasn't faster than whoever it was that day, I didn't care what my title was. You know what I mean? As far as like third being fastest Domino's or whatever it was with Pizza Hut, that wasn't my thing. I had to be faster than that person on the line with me. And, I would cuss myself up and down. 0.2 seconds. Oh boy. So being self-critical, in my opinion, it's a double-edged sword. It pushes you and it kills you. And being able to see that transition from how toxic I was to myself, and this is years ago, to what it is now, it feels like it's a completely different person. So definitely keeping tabs on and being able to look back on it. So that's why the journaling and all these goals, I have calendars, I have whiteboards and all that stuff for like my goals. So that's a huge thing with me as far as like keeping tabs on it, because it keeps me up to date. Like, hey, it's Wednesday and you haven't done this, So really being able to kind of log that. is really crucial in success. I feel like because I was watching a lot of the bigger like tycoons, Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett, and they talk about having a journal. And then when I started working out, Mike Mincer, he refers to a couple books that he had wrote, and in every one of them, he always talks about you need to keep a journal. So I'm just like, there has to be something here, you know. So keeping up with that, it helps you cultivate what you want to do further in the future too. Because your first decision goal, you're gonna, I hope everybody overcomes that, you know, and they accomplish it and they do it. But then your next one, what are you gonna do? You know?
Right.
So taking all that experience and being able to, you know, day by day or week by week, however you want to do it, it really does help you farther on.
That's very good. Have you ever faced any moments of self-doubt or imposter syndrome?
Imposter syndrome. I love that word. uh, self-doubt, yes. Coming out with a lot of the topics that I want to. This next series, story time, I'm putting it in a perspective. I'm talking more about me. This is put into stories that you know, have different names and all this and that. But so doubting that I should do that or do what, you know, I've already put together and planned out. That's been a big thing. But I get over it by saying, you're worth it. You can do this. There is nothing that anybody else can say to you that's going to hurt you more than what you've already said to yourself. And I mean, it's true, you know, looking back on those like diaries and all that other stuff. So doubting the inspiration that it brings kind of from the outside in for me is a big thing. But you know, once you get that little smile and you get that little hop in your step, and you're just like, "Hey, I got this," you know, and that confidence comes back. That's where I absolutely love that in the morning because I'll sit there for like 5 minutes and I'll watch the video and I'm like, "No, you shouldn't do this. You should, you know." But hey, it turns out pretty good every day. So
Yes, I agree. It definitely does. So, how do you handle competition or comparisons with others in your field?
I used to be very, very competitive. I wanted to be number one because I'm a Leo. So I love to be number one. But now I look at competition, I welcome it. I want you to be better than me. I want you to succeed way farther than I could ever imagine. It gives me something to look forward to. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do regardless. But
Right.
it gets lonely at the top. And that's one thing a lot of people they at the bottom it's always fighting and it's always I'm gonna step on you to get over here or do this or do that. I don't look at it that way anymore. I've learned that anybody that's doing better than you will never talk down on you. They'll give you a helping hand and kind of guide you in a direction, if not actually help you get to where you want to go. And the ones that's going to sit there and bash you and say, hey, you know, you're stupid for this, or, you know, you're irrelevant on that opinion, or whatever it is, those people aren't doing as good as you. And they're jealous in some way. So, competition, when it becomes healthy, I believe it is the best thing in the world. Look at famous basketball and football stars. Even oh my gosh, there's a couple soccer stars I just saw a thing with. They're the best ones, and you know they always talk crap or whatever. But beyond the camera, they're actually friends. They go out, and, you know, they do this and that. They don't have no animosity. You're doing your thing. I'm actually proud of you, you know, and I feel the same way. So I think that competition in itself is an amazing drive to make you better because without Vegeta, Goku would have never ever gotten that strong. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So that's, you know, you've always got to have somebody, whether it's a close friend or not, that's going to push you and you're going to push them in the same direction. So
Awesome.
I think,
I love that. You know, because it's true. It's people look at competition as in a negative light, where if you use it to grow and just another tool to push yourself, because if they can do it, why can't you? Like that's the
exactly.
thing that people have to remember. No matter what it is that you're looking at, If they can do it, why can't you? You know,
Exactly.
you can't. That's you just have to choose to do the steps to get to that point. So,
Exactly. And a lot of them, some people are just afraid to ask, you
right.
know. That was a big thing. You know, I don't know you, so why are you going to help me out? Or
Mhm.
and that's a big thing that'll deter a lot of them. Just go ask them. I don't know what Bill Gates did to do this, but guess what? I can go and watch his documentaries or talk to somebody that's or whatever. Like, how did you get to where you're at?
Right.
Watch those steps. And I mean, more times than not, they're gonna want to sit there and tell you about it because everybody loves talking about themselves.
Yes.
So, and that's the biggest key right there, making connections. You're networking.
But ask the right questions when you get the chance to.
Oh yeah.
Um, has success brought you the fulfillment that you were expecting?
Yes and no. Um, it brought me a sense of pride for my family and for me. Um, and then you sit there and you're like, this isn't it. We got to go farther. So you start planning more. So you got a little slight down curve right there after you get to that because you're so happy. But then when those doors close and tomorrow's happening, the sun's rising, what are we going to do today?
Mhm.
And that's the exciting part because
Right.
once you accomplish that first goal, you know that you can do it. You have that confidence built up. You have all that inspiration. Like I mean, for me right now, I've lost 4% body fat in 6 weeks, and I'm like, dude, I cannot believe it. So once we got to that mark, I'm like, dude, we got to get to like 6. So it was like I got here. Now what do I do? So you're kind of just like in limbo, but always planning for that next step because that's always going to be. You got to be greater than you was yesterday. Just 1% at least.
1%.
That's
1%
it.
better. So we've talked about this a lot already, but in what ways do you celebrate your wins, your successes and stuff like that? Just give us a couple of ideas, things that you like to do, big, small, things like that.
I like to take my family out. We'll go get sushi. I love going to the mountain, going up there camping and all that stuff. We was gonna go this weekend, but Kyle's gonna be coming down tomorrow, so instead of going up there, we'll probably end up going next weekend. But just enjoying everybody and like I don't honestly, a lot of people like to just like celebrate them when that's all going on. I'd rather not even talk about me. I just want to enjoy you guys.
Mhm.
So just living in the moment and just having that kind of celebration with everybody and it just seeing that happiness and having that energy around you. That's really my thought of my celebrations more. I mean, we barbecue more than anything. So it's just getting together and spending time.
All right, sir. Last question here. What advice would you give to somebody just starting on their journey towards success?
It took a lot to come to this door, but opening it and taking that first step past the door is the best thing that you can do. Keep going.
Yes,
There's nothing going to stop you.
I love it. Very good. I love those words. That's very inspirational. Um, would you like to give us your contact, social, anything like that that people can get in contact with you, and I'll add it to the show notes as well.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me shoot you a text. Go ahead and do the TikTok and the Facebook. I don't post as much on Facebook. For some reason, they don't like my license with LumaFusion, so my music gets canceled on there, which cancels my voice because it's all on the same track. So sometimes I do post on there. I usually keep it to the reels, which they kind of cut the media down. But with TikTok, we're actually going to be probably pursuing them a lot more. We're going to be starting Instagram up within the next 2 weeks. I've got a store with we're going to be doing shirts and hoodies as well. Little inspirational quotes and some designs and stuff like that. I'm working with some really cool people on them. Super excited. So as soon as I
Very
get
good.
the store set up, I'll shoot you all that good stuff. But yeah, I'll shoot you everything as soon as possible.
Awesome. Sounds good, brother. I appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you taking the time out to do this. Great hearing from you. Great learning about your story some more, and definitely look forward to chatting in the future.
Heck yeah, man. I appreciate you, and it's been an honor.
All right. Thank you, brother. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you.